Jaden Joseph. Jaden Joseph. I tend to use call Joseph with a Z, which I like. Well, it's usually an S, but fine. Joseph? I like. Yeah, yeah. I like Joseph, but again, when you check, it's Joseph. Again, we are modern, so I like to say Joseph. 16 years of age in SS3. Welcome. All right. Let's go on to the ritual of determining their positions.
That's right. They already were told to prepare for both sides of this topic. Mm-hmm. Now they will find out how they will argue this evening.
Who is
I
picking?
have 2 folded pieces of paper in my palm. Why do you want to stretch? Let the ladies do it.
I think Precious asked.
Jaden.
No, Precious had requested that he do it.
Girl, why?
She
you have bad luck. Don't say that about yourself. You don't have bad luck.
She trusts his good fortune.
It's okay, Jaden. Pick one.
Yeah. Let's see.
Here you go. Okay.
Yeah. So.
Umukoro Precious. Let Jaden pick because she believes she has bad luck. You don't have bad luck. Okay?
All right, let's find out how you guys have picked. So who wants to go first? Precious, are you supporting or opposing?
We're opposing.
You are opposing the motion.
Is that good luck? You were hoping for the other outcome. So it will be the duo of Cornerstone and Michelle of Davidhall College who will be supporting the motion.
That's right. Oh, now they're switching sides because they've decided who will speak first.
Yes.
The chief speaker is. The motion this hour is climate change is the biggest threat to Nigeria's future.
Yeah. Climate
change is the biggest threat to Nigeria's future. Davidhall will say yes. VSMictec International High School will say no.
We see it, Yvonne, the clouds of crisis gathering.
Oh, Femi, I can feel it.
Yeah. Anyway, the winds of warming, we see that blowing. And our debaters will dive deep into this question on whether melting coasts, raging floods, and withering farmlands pose a danger greater than poverty, politics, or policy. So is climate change the quiet storm behind Nigeria's struggles, or just one wave in a sea of challenges? We're about to find out. Let's get into this debate.
We are streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube. Join the live streams. You may wish to refresh the Nigeria info page so that you can join the new live streams. Okay, we'll take that break now.
No kidding. And when we come back, we'll go straight into the battle.
Hello there. I'm here to tell you about the world-class beverage cans producers, GZI. At GZI, excellence is our hallmark. We produce world-class aluminum beverage cans that meet the highest international quality and safety standards. Our cans are 100% recyclable, lightweight, and designed to keep every beverage fresh while protecting the planet. With state-of-the-art facilities and responsible production practices, we are proudly setting the pace for sustainable packaging across Africa. GZI. Yes, we can.
Time for truth to tussle with theory and conviction to collide with caution. Get ready, fasten your seatbelts. It's time to listen first to Michelle Idora. It's Cornerstone. Pardon me. Cornerstone. Craig Cornerstone. Or Cornerstone Craig. Her name is Cornerstone. Her surname is Craig. She's 13. She's from Davidhall College, Obalende, Ikoyi, Lagos. She's in SS1. Yvonne?
Thank you, Femi. The motion is climate change is the biggest threat to Nigeria's future. You will now hear Cornerstone open her case. Your time starts now.
The earth is warming, the ice is melting, sea levels are rising, and we're still debating. Instead of negotiate, this will quote by former Secretary General, UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon. Good team auditors, panel of judges, accurate timekeepers, co-debaters, and member attending audience. My name is Craig Cornerstone from Davidhall National College, UK, Lagos. And I stand before you to vehemently support the motion which states climate change is the biggest threat to Nigeria's future. Now, going directly to my point. Firstly, agricultural devastation and food insecurity. Over 70% of Nigerians depend solely on agriculture. Yet this vital sector is perilously vulnerable to climate change. Erratic rainfalls and flooding have decimated farmlands and diminished productivity. In 2022, the NEMA reports that the floods destroyed over the flood displaced 1.4 million people, killed over 600 people, and the NEMA reports that floods destroyed over 270 hectares of crops, destroying food supply chain and worsening hunger across the nation. The World Bank wants that climate change could push 3 million Nigerians into extreme poverty if unaddressed. This is an act of water, rain, and floods. Second, the catastrophic and environmental degradation. From Bayelsa to Kogi, Nigeria faces floods that annihilate homes, obliterate roads, and displace families. According to the United Nations in 2022, floods displaced 1.4 million people, killed over 600 people, and damaged her homes across 33 states. This single disaster wiped out homes, farms, schools, and villages infrastructure. Thirdly, the certification and erosion of livelihoods. The northern region is succumbing to the certification as rising heat and deforestation turns fertile and barren. The International Meteorological Agency reports that over 60% of northern land are already degraded. The shrinking of Lake Chad, reduced by 90% since the 1960s, have destroyed livelihoods and driven migration and conflict. When a land dies, communities follow. Fourthly, economic decline and infrastructural failure. The Nigerian economy depends solely on oil, agriculture, and energy, all vulnerable to climate change. The floods, and extreme heat destroy power lines, roads, and other vital assets. The World Bank estimates that Nigeria could lose up to 30% of its GDP by 2050 if unchecked. This is not just a climate issue; it is an economic time bomb. Fifthly, climate-induced insecurity. Climate change is a catalyst for violence. As grazing areas shrink. Clash between farmers and herders escalates. The International Crisis Group links climate stress to the Benue and Plateau conflict, where resource scarcity fuels bloodshed, and thus climate change does not just destroy nature; it undermines our peace and our national security. And lastly, health crisis from climate-driven diseases. The rising heat and deforestation, worsening malaria, cholera, meningitis, and other respiratory diseases. In 2019, cholera outbreaks in Bauchi and Adamawa states worsened after floods contaminated their water sources. That's why I strongly support this motion. Thank you.
Well done.
Craig Cornerstone. Well done. Davidhall College, Obalende Ikoyi, Lagos, ably represented. It's now time to switch to their opponent from VSMictec International High School, and we'll be listening to Precious Umukoro.
VSMictec International High School, your time starts now.
They say when the foundation is weak, even the slightest wind can bring down a house. Nigeria's foundation isn't being shaken by climate change. It is being shattered by corruption, bad governance, and neglect. Good day, distinguished judges, my fellow debaters, and every bright mind listening to me right now. My name is Umukoro Precious, a student at VSMictec International High School, and I'm here not just to argue, and I'm here to challenge the illusion that we can blame the sky for what men have done. Before I get into my debate, I would like to make myself clear. I do believe that climate change is a threat, but I do not believe that it is the biggest threat facing Nigeria. Because our problem lies not in the weather, but in the weathered hearts of men in power. Think about it. The rain didn't steal pensions, droughts didn't loot the treasury, and rising temperatures didn't silence justice. When people sleep hungry in a nation filled with oil, when soldiers die with empty bullets, and when flood victims cry while relief funds disappear, Don't tell me it's the climate. Tell me it's corruption. This heat we feel is not from the sun. It is from the greed burning this country inside out. Now, on to my first argument. I believe that economic mismanagement is the true threat. Nigeria won't collapse because it rained. It will collapse because our systems fail. And we do not utilize our resources. Our oil money disappears into politicians' new private jets. Budgets never reach the people, and infrastructures crumble before they're even built. In 2023, Nigeria spent over 7 trillion naira on fuel subsidies alone, more than its education and health budgets combined. Yet millions of people still live without power or clean water. Climate change may dry the river, yes, but mismanagement is what keeps the people thirsty. Next, education failure. A nation's future will not die because the sun gets hotter. It will die because the classrooms go silent. Nigeria has over 20 million out-of-school children, the highest in the world according to UNICEF. That is 20 million minds lost to the streets instead of science, innovation, and leadership. How do you expect us to fight climate change or anything at all when the same people meant to solve tomorrow's problem are left uneducated today? Next, overpopulation. Every year, 5 million babies are born into Nigeria's system, a broken system. The United Nations projects that by the year 2050, Nigeria will be the world's third most populous country, yet our infrastructure is barely surviving as it is. The real threat isn't a climate crisis, it is a capacity crisis. When growth outpaces governance, even good weather won't save us. Lastly, the world is adapting, turning challenges into opportunities. In Kenya, farmers use solar-powered irrigation to plant crops. Meanwhile, Nigeria, blessed with abundant sunlight, still battles poor food production and power outages. We have the tools, we have the resources, we have the young, bright, creative minds. But you know what we lack? We lack the vision. We do not invest in innovation. Before climate change even dares to stop us, stagnation will. Now, before we label climate change as Nigeria's biggest problem, we must look inward. A nation that cannot manage its wealth, protect its citizens, or educate its youth will crumble long before climate change comes into the picture. Yes, climate change is real, but corruption drains and sucks our hopes faster than droughts drain rivers. The river may fail, but leadership failure is the storm that will destroy Nigeria's future. My name is Umurkuru Precious. Thank you for listening to me.
And so, the opening rounds are done, Femi.
No doubt. You can sense it. It's palpable. It's in the air. And we need a breather.
We do. That we do. We'll be right back.
The biggest debate competition in Nigeria. I beg to differ on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Obiwizi is Nigeria's trusted name in affordable tech and gadget tradings. From Lagos to Abuja, from students to CEOs, Obiwizi is your guy for quality tech devices, brand new and pre-owned alike. Got a new phone or laptop? Bring it in and walk away with an upgrade or a cashback, or in fact, both. Whether you shop in-store or online, at obiwizi.com, you are guaranteed value, warranty, and a customer-first experience. Obiwizi offers affordable tech, trusted service, because with gadgets, Obiwizi is your guy. Follow Obiwizi at Instagram at Obiwizi Backup Page, or on TikTok at Obiwizi. That is at Obiwizi on TikTok. Obiwizi is spelled Obiwezi. That is Obiwezi.
At GZI, we believe corporate success must go hand in hand with community impact. Through our corporate social responsibility initiatives, we've supported lives across Nigeria, from donating protective coveralls to street sweepers nationwide to organizing free medical outreach programs for our host communities. We're committed to improving lives, promoting safety, and giving back wherever we operate. GZI, building communities, inspiring change.
The Tournament of Champions. It's I Beg to Differ on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
You can feel it. The climate is changing and the globe is warming. But nothing compares to the heat up in here in Nigeria Info's Lagos studios.
Indeed, Femi.
The calm is about to give way to confrontation as we get into the rebuttal rounds. Before that, special thanks to our sponsors for these first Lagos regional finals. Lead sponsor GZI Industries, we appreciate you. Also, Obi-Weezy, like eternal supporter
At this point,
of this
Obi
project.
Weezy is a member of this family.
Most
Obi Weezy
certainly.
is family.
Certainly. Now it's time for courtesy to meet courage and for composure to meet counterattack.
Right. This round will commence with the motion opposer, VSMictec International High School, represented by Joseph Jaden. You've got 4 minutes, Joseph. Your time starts. Jaden, Joseph, Joseph, Jaden. The alliteration really works. Well, Jaden, your time starts now.
Standing on existing protocol, I've had a chance to listen to the opponent's claims, and while I was hoping to hear some credible arguments, all I got were a bunch of sentences marching in the wrong direction. Now, it goes against everything I stand for to sit here and watch them try to brainwash you with these poorly thought out claims, and so I'm here with confidence and conviction to rebut their fan fiction, and I would like to begin with this. First of all, I'll group all your first 3 points into this. You spoke about hunger, climate change affecting our healthcare, and our insecurity. I'm not trying to say Nigeria isn't facing climate change. Every country is facing climate change. But let's be honest, there's no nation that can handle climate change with bad governance. What do you expect us to do when 60 billion naira worth of ecological funds goes missing one day? In the Transparency International reports for last year, Nigeria ranked 145 out of 180 countries in terms of transparency. You can't expect a country that can't keep funds that are meant to be used during these disasters to be well equipped for when these disasters come. Secondly, you spoke about environmental devastation. We have poor infrastructure in Nigeria. That's no secret. In the Bible, it took 40 days and 40 nights of consistent rain to flood the whole planet, and yet some of our cities flood in under an hour of rain. That's not the effect of adverse climate change. That's the effect of adverse negligence. You mentioned that it's a loss of livelihoods and it affects our economy badly. Well, I would like to inform you that Nigeria is currently 87 trillion naira deep in debt. Climate change didn't borrow that money for us. Our Nigerian leaders did. Secondly, our inflation rate has gone up by over 30% in the last 2 years. Nobody's going to blame the weather for that. Our country has bigger issues to worry about than just the weather. Moving on to some points of my own. The National Bureau of Statistics published that 63% of Nigerians are facing abject poverty, thick poverty. Now imagine trying to explain to someone who doesn't even have food in their belly that there are rising sea prices. That kind of person is only worried about the rising price of goods in the market. Next, I would like to mention that lack of proper planning is one of the things that's driving our country backward. Now, the proposition can keep naming as many problems as they want to name, but one fact remains as this: no matter how many problems they might try to name that are caused by climate change, those problems are either caused by, fueled by, or outweighed by the different problems that Nigeria is currently facing. So no matter how hard they try to twist it, one truth stands clear: climate change is not the biggest weapon fashioned against Nigeria. It is not the biggest threat Nigeria is facing right now. Nigeria has bigger problems to deal with. Thank you.
Right. Thank you, Jaden. Now we will hear from Idora Michelle. Wonderful. Idora Michelle, your time starts now.
Honorable Chairman, distinguished members in the House, I rise as the supporting Deputy Speaker of Davidhall International College, Ikoyi, here to affirm boldly that climate change is not just a threat, but Nigeria's most severe and immediate danger, and prove to you that my opponent has spoken with sincere passion and no reason. Firstly, she stated infrastructure neglect and overpopulation. Infrastructure neglect is truly a threat, but climate changes and amplifies climate changes amplifies and transforms infrastructure neglect into a greater risk and danger. The French Treasury in September 2024 shows that floods, coastal erosion, and sea level rise threaten urban and infrastructure zone in Nigeria. Secondly, she also mentioned poor education. My opponent claims that out-of-school children are at risk. What about their deaths? UNICEF in 2021 ranked Nigeria second most vulnerable country where children face climate-related deaths. Thirdly, she spoke of corruption and bad governance. Secondly, she spoke of corruption and bad governance. The Nigerian Energy Agency in 2023 shows that increase in heat waves reduces the efficiency of power plants and damages transmission lines, worsening Nigeria's already weak power supply. So many damages, even in the watch of our government. This means our government, corrupt or incorrupt, good or bad, they still can't stop the effects of climate change, and the effects of their corruption are still minimum compared to that of climate change. Also, do you want to tell me that the collapse of healthcare is also not a danger that climate change has? The WHO outlook states that mosquitoes transmission in Nigeria are going to rise by 50% by 2025. Even heat-related deaths in West Africa are projected to double by 2040. Also unemployment. Insecurities. Climate change has far larger insecurities. The National Emergency Agency in 2022 confirms the 2022 flood displaced over 1.4 million Nigerians, killed over 600 people, and destroyed 700 billion naira worth of property without war, terrorism, banditry, or kidnapping, just climate. Fourthly, do you want to tell me that poor education? Also, do you want to tell me that Nigeria's greatest threat also lies in the hands of moral decay and value erosion? Truly, ethics and moral challenges are serious, but they are still secondary compared to the existential threat posed by climate change. The UNICEF in 2023 shows that Nigeria is going to increase hunger, poverty, and insecurity in Nigeria. Thank you.
Michelle Idora, everyone. She's just 13 from Davidhall College of Obalende, Ikoyi, Lagos. Yes, the storms have clashed and the tempests have passed. The rebuttal round is over. Now, we arrive at the calm before the verdict, which is the closing round.
That's right. After this break.
No doubt.
The biggest debate competition in Nigeria. I beg to differ on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Hello there. I'm here to tell you about the world-class beverage cans producers, GZI. At GZI, excellence is our hallmark. We produce world-class aluminum beverage cans that meet the highest international quality and safety standards. Our cans are 100% recyclable, lightweight, and designed to keep every beverage fresh while protecting the planet. With state-of-the-art facilities and responsible production practices, we are proudly setting the pace for sustainable packaging across Africa. GZI. Yes, we can.
The Tournament of Champions. It's I Beg to Differ on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Welcome back. Thanks to GZI Industries, our lead sponsors, and Obi Weezy. our all-time supporter. It's time now for the final round, when these students will not introduce but ignite. No new points, only pure persuasion, and no fresh facts. Ladies, gentlemen, just give us fiery conviction. Let's get into the closing round.
Yes, and this round will commence with the motion supporter, Davidhall College, Obalende, Ikoyi, Lagos. Who will close? Okay, that is Idora Michelle. You've got 3 minutes, love. Your time starts now.
Honorable Chairman, distinguished judges, we've heard the cries of our land. We've debated on economics, insecurity, and politics. But beneath them all, one silent storm rages louder than them all: climate change. It is an unseen enemy that dries our rivers, floods our cities, kills our crops, and fuels our conflicts. It burns our north with droughts and drown, and south with flood. It is not a problem we inherit, but a punishment we create. It is not waiting for tomorrow. It is already here, unfolding the Nigeria we know. The IPCC warns that Africa warms faster than the world. The World Bank shows that just one flood cost Nigeria 700 billion naira, and the UNICEF reminds us that our children face off the highest climate risk on earth. Climate change is not tomorrow's risk, it is today's tragedy. If we choose to delay, we will one day see that the enemy we have ignored will take everything we love. The enemy we have ignored will take everything we love. So today, let us not speak with timidity, but with truth. That Nigeria's greatest threat is not invasion, is not political division, but the changing of our own climate. How can a nation prosper when its farms flood, its air chokes, its future burns? The most deadliest threat is the heat killing our crops, is the flood drowning our cities. No other threat is bigger than that. I stand to speak not with fear, but with warning, that if we do not fight climate now, our next debate will not be in this chamber, but in a country gasping for breath. So I stand not in despair, but with warning that climate change is not I stand not with fear, but with warning that climate change is truly Nigeria's greatest threat, and the time to fight it is not someday, it's now. Nigeria's greatest threat is not political division, is not invasion. It is the collapse of farms, destroying of hopes, losing of jobs, rising conflicts, dying children. Truly, no bigger threat is bigger than that of climate change. You can silence a protester, but you cannot silence a storm. I rest my case.
Well done.
And I love it, Yvonne.
I do.
Argument becoming artistry, persuasion becoming poetry,
Absolutely.
and we are only halfway through in the final round.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Yeah. From VSMictec International High School.
Just to say, that was Idora Michelle.
That was indeed.
Closing for Davidhall College, Obalende, Ikoyi, Lagos.
Now you'll hear VSMictec International High School. Jaden, are you ready? Jaden, you've got 3 minutes to do justice. Your time starts now.
Thank you very much, my lovely moderator. And once again, a good evening to my lovely audience, wherever you might be listening in from. We've had a very exhilarating debate today, but at the end of it, one truth stands tall, unshakable, and undeniable. Climate change is not the biggest problem affecting Nigeria's future. From our opening debates to our rebuttal rounds, we have tried to prove beyond all reasonable doubt that this truth is clear. First of all, we outlined that economic mismanagement is one of the biggest setbacks that's holding Nigeria back. And we gave these statistics. We said that 60 billion naira worth of economic funds have gone missing. When such things happen and our country isn't prepared for such natural phenomenon when they happen. You can't exactly blame that on negligence. You can't blame that on climate change, rather. You can blame that on negligence. For example, countries like the UAE, which have desert landscapes, do not exactly face problems like Nigeria faces. They are not hungry. But Nigerians that have good soil and everything, we are the ones that are hungry. If I'm to ask anyone in this room whether they would like to spend the rest of their lives in Dubai or in Nigeria, the answer will be quite clear. Secondly, we also outlined how education is a bigger problem than climate change. About the records that we gave earlier from UNICEF showed that 20 million Nigerian children are out of school. 20 million Nigerian children unaccounted for, lost minds that could help Nigeria progress. Next, we also gave the statistics to show that the amount of people affected by poverty is high. 63% of Nigerians live in abject poverty. It's not in 2050. It's a problem that we are seeing now. This report was given by the National Bureau of Statistics as of last year. Now, during our rebuttal round, we gave... Oh, I'm sorry. No matter how hard anybody tries, nobody can convince me that climate change is on par with problems that Nigeria is facing. Problems like poverty, bad education, corruption, or economic instability. Look, climate change is real. I love nature myself. Climate change is real. I'm not trying to undermine that climate change is not a problem. But I'm trying to say that if climate change and the other problems that Nigeria is currently facing were to be put on a scale, climate change will barely even shake the scale. Nigeria is facing lots of other problems, and it will be and climate change is obviously going to be outweighed by those problems. Now, this is the point in my debate where I'll urge everyone who has listened so far to pause, rethink, and come over to the right side of this argument. The side where we choose to face the problems that stare us in the face. The side where we choose to face fiction with fact. And with that, this is where I'd like to draw the curtain. Thank you.
Well done, and thank you, David. Well done.
And as we end, we remind these debaters and all other debaters of what we expect in the closing round, where you summon your final strength to remind us not just what you believe, but that it matters. Thank you. Well done. And these kids have shown us it matters for Nigeria's tomorrow. That the floor is theirs. That the future also belongs to them. Let us take a pause as the judges finish up and determine how this debate had gone. It's been a fantastic evening. Plenty of nerves, no doubt.
Right, Femi.
In both debates, but also plenty of brilliance. And however it goes, we unfortunately will be bidding bye to a brilliant debatee team here, inevitably. Mm-hmm. And when the verdict is out, take it with heart. You've both done, brilliantly well. But somebody has to progress and the other person has to leave. Davidhall College, VSMictec International School. Well done. This was a debate that danced between danger and destiny. Before we go into the scorecards of the three judges, we want to listen to Diction Judge Yvonne.
Thank you, Femi.
Pay attention.
Right, I'll start with Davidhall. Well done, ladies. When using an acronym that sounds like a word, don't use it with a definite article the. So don't say the NEMA, just say NEMA. Don't say the UNICEF, say UNICEF. But you say the WHO because such an acronym is pronounced individually. The letters are individually pronounced, okay? However, when the acronym is pronounced as a word, it's just the same way you would not say the IDORA. You'd say IDORA, right? So that is also the rule when it comes to abbreviations and acronyms. Abbreviations are those ones, a collection of letters, okay, formed from a stretch of words. Now, when the letters are pronounced individually, you use the definite article the. But when pronounced as words, drop the definite article. So you should not have said the NEMA. You shouldn't have said the UNICEF. You should have just said you should have said UNICEF or NEMA. But yes, you could have said the WHO, okay, which is the World Health Organization. Also say chairman, not chairman, chairman, okay, chairman. Say plateau, not plateau, plateau, okay. Say thus, not thus, thus. Say thus. Say education, not education, education. Also say deaths, not debts, because debt is something you owe. It's money you owe. When you owe a debt, you have to pay. Okay? So it's important that you enunciate the difference. Okay? So deaths, not debts. Otherwise, then we'll ask who owes who. Also say use damage. Use damage when you mean harm. Right? Use damages only when you're referring to the amount paid, to the money paid for damage caused. So, damages is used legally, is used in legal contexts. So much damage done, not so many damages done. Does that make sense? Wonderful. Say silence, not silent. Silent is an adjective. Silence is a verb. It's also a noun. You can silence someone, you can't silence them. They can be silent when you silence them, okay? And that silence of theirs can be deafening. Don't say the most deadliest threat, because deadliest is already at the peak of comparison. There was no need to say most deadliest. You should have just said deadliest as opposed to most deadliest, okay? I'll stop there and come to MicTech. Say number of people, not amount of people. You use number with countable nouns. Use amount with uncountable nouns. So don't say the amount of people, you say the number of people. 60 million or 60 billion naira worth of economic funds has gone, not have gone, because the noun there is the money itself, not the funds. Okay? Of economic funds just modifies the amount, the sum. Okay? So say 60 million naira worth of economic funds. Say challenge, not challenge, challenge. Okay? Say with when you mean preposition. Wit means intelligence, it means intellect. WIT means intellect. With has to do with, nearness. It's a preposition. And that's why it's really important to enunciate your words correctly, because when you say something, when you mean something else, you change the meaning of what you're trying to say. Okay? So say with, not wit, when you mean preposition. Say youth, not youth. Youth, okay? Say 30%, not 30%, 30. Also, that's all I've got here. Okay.
All right.
Well done.
Well done to you.
It's now in the hands of the judges. Femi.
No doubt. Cornerstone Michelle of Davidhall College, and to you, Precious and Jaden from MicTech International School. We now reach the moment of measure. As Yvonne said, our judges, having deliberated, dissected, and decided who shone brightest in this battle of brilliance, the verdict is out. It's my duty now to announce it. Pay attention. All three judges score the first round unanimously as a tie. All three judges score the second round unanimously. 10-9, 10-9, 10-9. And all three judges score the third round unanimously. Near unanimously. It's 10-8 for judges Ama and Ufoma, and 10-9 for Chief Judge Chike. The second round and the third round all go to the same school. It's 30-27 in the second round, and it's 30-25 in the third round. Diction scoring is 10-9 in favor of Mictec School. The total score by unanimous decision is 99-92 in favor of Cornerstone Craig and Michelle Idora of Davidhall College, Obalende, Ikoyi, Lagos. Congratulations to you, Cornerstone and Michelle Idora. Congratulations. Well done. You must be proud. Were you scared you weren't going to win at any point?
Yes, sir.
Are you surprised you won?
Yes, sir.
Brilliant. Well done. Well, and to you, Jaden and Precious of Mictec International School. I don't know how to say this. Fortunately for me, I'm not one of the judges. It's a tough job deciding some of these contests, but in the end, decisions have to be made based on a number of parameters.
Yes, I'm sure there are questions on your minds. The judges
Understandably so.
Understandably so. The judges voted unanimously in the opening rounds, okay? It was a tie. In the rebuttal rounds, you did not refute all the points made by the opponent before adding extra points. And that's where you lost it.
I was surprised because he had time. He ended the rebuttal round too soon.
Then went on to add extra points. Yes, they faulted, right? But they listed more than 3 points, which you did not catch. And that's where you lost it in the rebuttal rounds. In the closing rounds, as great as your style was, it seemed more like a regurgitation of what you had already said in the rebuttal rounds. Whereas their closing round, Femi.
Yes, so your opening round was brilliant. I thought that Precious was brilliant in our opening round. And there was a part of me that wished that was the closing round because the style was poetic. It was brilliant. It was beautiful. Would be great. And, at the top of my mind, I was expecting that Precious will do something equally poetic in the closing round where you are judged for style. In the first and second rounds, you are judged for points.
Yes. The quality of your
points. Quality of the points.
The rebuttal rounds are very strict.
Very strict.
You have to first refute your opponent's points, all of their points, before adding extra points of your own. The closing round is about your style.
Yes, I was a bit disappointed in the closing round, even though Jaden is a brilliant debater. I thought what he did was a rehash of what he had already said, summarizing what he said in the opening rounds and the rebuttal rounds. But what they're looking for is your style. That is where you bring on, and that's why I say some of these things before we go into the rounds. This is what we are looking for.
That's why
your
it's important
style,
to pay
your
attention.
passion. We're not looking for points. Just go ahead and bring that sagacity. She was poetic. What Precious did in the first
in the
round.
round, yes.
Michelle did in the closing round, and she caught the attention of the judges. Anyway, thank you. Congratulations. I'm heartbroken. I was expecting to be heartbroken at the end of this debate, and indeed I am. But well done to you. I would have been heartbroken either way because the styles were different, but both schools were brilliant. And I do not know for the life of me how somehow, again, the lessons are there. Here's the best part though. There's a second regional finals. It's in February, but you're going to take these lessons. I think it was just an understanding of the rules.
Yes.
You were great and brilliant. It's just to understand the rules. This is your first time in this debate, both of you. But I hope to see you in February, because if you just get those instructions right, I don't think anybody can stand you guys.
I agree.
To be honest with you.
I agree. But that's the show this evening. Tomorrow, we will do a roundup of all that has happened this week. Do join us then, Femi.
Nigeria plays at 5 p.m. After this quick timeout, we will go into that match on Nigeria Info. See you at 3 tomorrow.
In the cooking game, you need a winning game plan. I'm not just talking about your fresh ingredients, utensils, or cooking skills. I'm talking about your choice of seasoning. My game plan is incomplete without
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria.